ready.
Your podcast
That was
voice
so bad.
is so different than what you were just saying.
I'm all, yes, I'm ready. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Phone voice versus married voice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you listen to episode 1 and you're back for episode 2, God bless you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah.
Just
Glutton
a quick
for punishment.
Yeah. Just a quick breakdown of how we do things for those of you who don't know. We release in a 2-part series. So part 1 will come out on Mondays and part 2 will come out on Thursdays. So
Yes.
part 1 is Billy laying out the crime, the details, the suspects. He will change the names and specific details for part 1 just so I don't guess what it is right away because I know a lot of true crime.
That way it's not a dead giveaway.
Yes. And then I will make my guess. And then on Thursdays, we will do the reveal, real names, real details, more information. We try to keep the episode short and sweet.
Yep.
So that way, if you just want a quick listen and something entertaining, hopefully that would be us.
Yeah, we wanted to do kind of like little bite-sized chunks,
Yeah.
just real digestible, so kind of more binge-worthy.
Yeah. So you'll hear these same stories, other podcasts with a lot more detail, and that's fine, and we love that too. But this one is just a quick, fun, easy listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a little bit of a game at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then we'll get into the actual crime, like you said in part 2.
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah. So
good summarizing there, darling.
you're welcome.
We're still dealing with the cold here too.
Yes, we are in central, south-ish Texas.
Artemis, no. Sorry, our dog is trying to tear up our hand towel.
Yeah.
He's been on another level today.
They don't like the cold either.
Yeah. Anybody who has Yorkies, just let us know how they terrorize you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's their house. We just live here.
Yeah. Yeah, we just clean up after them, cater to them,
Feed them,
keep them warm.
bathe them, let them take up our bed.
Yeah. They
You
want
would think-
nothing to do with us while we're here, but the second we step outside, it's throwing a hissy fit.
Yeah, and you would think 2 little 5-pound dogs wouldn't take up that much space, but believe me, they do.
They do. They keep us up at night. We need help.
We do need help.
Oh, boy. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll get right into this.
Yeah, let's
Are you
jump
ready?
in. Yep.
Okay. This is a weird one.
Okay. I hope they're all weird.
Oh, they are. It's murder.
I know.
Yeah. Well, not all of them. Sometimes there's just going to be a crime.
Okay.
It
Mix
could
it
be.
up.
It could be. So is this one of
never
those
know.
times?
Yeah.
I hope you don't know. All right.
Lay it on me.
On the morning of March 1st, 2000, police were called to a residence in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, after coworkers reported that Richard Branson failed to show up for work.
Ooh, I like the name Branson. Sorry.
They went to his house looking for him. His coworkers went to the house looking for him. So Branson was just known as being reliable, dependent. Yeah, maybe don't hit the mic.
Sorry.
What are you new here?
Yes.
Okay, so he's really reliable, doesn't miss a day, and he has spoken openly to his coworkers the previous day about escalating tensions in his personal life.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He had also taken steps, formal ones, to protect him and his children.
Oh, okay.
So this
restraining order?
It immediately raises concerns.
Yes. This is why you should always tell people what's happening too, because if you don't, nobody, you could just be sick at home. But when you know something's going on, you're concerned.
Yeah, don't worry about being embarrassed.
Exactly. I tell everybody everything about you.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Wondered why your parents were looking at me funny. Anyways, we'll deal with that on another episode.
That's our therapy session. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, no, that's just called Dead Wrong. And that's maybe we'll make that like a mini episode.
That would be funny
for the Patreon.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
Oh my god.
Okay, so immediately this raises concern with police knowing all of this, with what the neighbors and coworkers are saying.
Wait, so the coworkers went to check?
Yes, because he didn't show up. Yes.
Okay.
And when police forced entry into the home, they discovered Branson's body inside.
Ooh.
Also inside the house was Betty White, found unconscious.
Poor Betty White.
After ingesting a large quantity of pills in what appeared to be an attempted suicide.
Okay, so his body is murdered. What? How?
We'll get
You're
there.
not getting... Okay.
Yeah.
She looks like she overdosed on pills on purpose.
Yes, and so from the beginning, investigators are looking at this going, is this a domestic violence? Is this just a
murder,
dispute?
suicide.
Or is this the beginning of a very complex and weird case?
I have a feeling it's going to be that one.
Okay. So before we get into what investigators saw, I will say one of the reasons that prompted the coworkers calling was they thought they saw what appeared to be blood on the front porch.
Oh, okay.
So
And this is a house?
Yes,
Okay.
they went to his home.
Okay.
Yes. We're gonna talk about Betty White and her childhood real quick.
All right.
And
Betty White. You can't, you're going to have to not pick names like that.
well, I'm surprised you didn't get Richard Branson.
Who's Richard Branson?
Pretty sure it's the Virgin Mobile guy. Or not Mobile, but the Virgin Airlines guy.
Oh,
Sorry, not Mobile.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, continue.
Betty White's mom, Jennifer Brahm, was married and had 4 children with James Brahm.
Okay.
She began having an affair with one of his coworkers, Albert White, and the affair ended up going very, very public, and it was a big deal. There was a lot of huge backlash with them doing this, so much so that they ended up moving to Tulsa.
Ooh, nobody
Yeah.
goes there. Oh, sorry. Just if you're from Tulsa, just kidding.
Damn, there goes half our audience right there. The only other
Sorry,
person
Tulsa.
who listened is an
We
Okie.
love you.
Dang. So the fallout split the family apart. Some of the older children stayed behind. The younger ones were sent elsewhere. And Jennifer went on to have even more kids with Albert, which includes 2 twin girls.
Betty is one of those
Yes,
girls.
Betty
Okay.
is one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it looked like you were about to ask a question. So that's
I
what
was, but it was about the other kids, and it's probably not really relevant to
Well,
the
go
story.
ahead and ask. Yeah. What?
So some of them stayed with the dad, and some of them went where? Okay. I'm sure it's not relevant to the
older kids
crime,
stayed with him.
Okay.
They didn't move with her.
Okay.
They stayed with their dad. Yeah.
None of them went with the mom. Oh, she
From
started
what
her
I
own
gather,
new family.
she left and had more kids with Albert.
Okay.
One of the few people that Betty was really close to was her Aunt Ophelia White. And when she died by suicide in 1969, it really messed Betty up.
How old was Betty at that point?
She was born in 1955,
Okay.
so 14.
Okay.
So she was a teenager. And so just backing up just a little bit here, from very early on, she grew up surrounded by violence, instability, sexual trauma. Her father was a heavy alcoholic and would rape her mother upwards of 10 times a day sometimes. Yeah. And so the home was just immediate abuse, and
chaotic
this
and
really messed with her
Sure.
throughout her life with mental health
Right.
issues.
Understandably
and,
so.
Yeah, and family members corroborated a lot of things later on, and basically saying that boundaries were just non-existent and violence and trauma were just completely normal for them. At school, she was remembered as volatile. She could be withdrawn and aggressive, sometimes violent towards other students, yet paradoxically well-behaved and high-performing when calm. Teachers describe sharp mood shifts rather than just consistent disruptions.
Sure.
Yeah, it was just from one moment to the next, she was kind of different.
Okay.
So she left school at 15, unable to read or write, and began working manual jobs before finding out what she called her dream job at a local slaughterhouse. There, she quickly advanced and was issued her own set of butcher's knives, the tools she reportedly kept close at home. Like, she was just enamored with it. She just loved it.
Okay.
And became very, very skilled at
Chopping?
butchering. Yeah.
Okay.
So by adulthood, people in Tulsa knew Betty as someone capable of charm and generosity. So there's this juxtaposition of being someone quick to threaten with violence when she was angry, too.
Okay. And she's like that in the community also. Like they
Yes.
know that she has nice
Like,
Betty and mean
oh,
Betty.
We love her. She's super generous, but don't get on her bad side.
Yeah, don't piss her
kind of
off.
thing.
Okay, got it.
And so this is a reputation that followed her into every relationship that came after. So this history, combined with what investigators learn about those relationships, is what complicates everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're going to get into Betty's older years. We're going to start introducing some of the men and women in her life.
Oh boy. This sounds like it's going to be really difficult.
So Betty met Ted Dorset in 1973
Okay.
while they were both working at the Slaughterhouse in Tulsa. Dorset struggled heavily with drinking following really traumatic instances that he had from his previous job on the railway. And by the time they met, both were carrying significant emotional baggage. They ended up marrying a year later in 1974, and so quickly developing the relationship, which was just marked with repeated separations, volatility. Friends and family often described the marriage as intense and unstable, which again, they had frequent breakups just followed immediately by just reconciling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like middle school dating.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
We were on a
We've all been there. Yeah.
Yeah. But after the birth of their first child in 1976, the relationship rapidly deteriorated. Dorset eventually left the marriage and moved to Buffalo. In the aftermath of that separation,
Sorry.
not that Buffalo.
Oh,
This is
Buffalo, Oklahoma?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Betty experienced a series of mental health crises during this time, which resulted in multiple psychiatric hospital admissions over a short period of time. Professionals diagnosed her later on with postpartum depression,
Okay, yeah.
and she was treated at several facilities in and around Oklahoma City.
Yeah, especially if she had mental health issues beforehand, having a baby and all those hormones and all that, that's definitely going to make it worse.
Well, and despite this instability, Dorset returned to support her and ended up relocating them and their small family to Norman in an attempt to start over.
Okay. Also in Oklahoma.
Yes. They later had a second child in 1980. However, this is when the relationship just ends.
Okay.
And so by 1984, sorry, not in 1980. Okay. It ends in 1984 permanently when Betty returns to Tulsa with her children. And she briefly resumes her work at the Slaughterhouse before a bad back injury places her on disability.
Oh.
And so then she's eventually provided public housing, and that's where she ends up settling along with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're going to fast forward 2 years later, where she begins a relationship with Henry Smith. He's a 38-year-old miner who moved in with her and the kids, and despite living together, Smith ends up keeping an apartment in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Gotta be
Which
safe.
is a detail that really stood out to police. Like, that's
Sure.
kind of a red flag. Like, okay, so you're going to move in, you're going to be with this girl and
Right.
this woman and her girls, but now you're going to...
You're going to keep your own apartment.
Right.
Yeah. So either you're not completely committed, you're living a double life and you have a wife and children elsewhere,
Right.
or who knows what. Yeah.
This relationship was also extremely unstable, had frequent breakups, and frequent reconciliations. Each separation coincided with significant emotional strains she was having at the time. So including the periods of psychiatric care that she got in Oklahoma City, they were kind of figuring out that when things get really crazy, she has these moments
Sure.
where she just goes into like a...
Breakdown.
Yeah,
It's a breakdown.
just a mental breakdown.
Yeah. Okay.
In 1988, she gave birth to a daughter that's fathered by Smith. Around the same time, Smith placed a deposit on a house in Edmond, suggesting that he's fully committed. Shocking friends and family when he abruptly just breaks it off with Betty.
Okay.
So he goes, does all of this, and then just stops.
Okay.
So after the sudden breakup,
So he puts a deposit on a house to buy and then just all of a sudden ends things.
yeah.
Okay.
And so this is where it gets weird with Henry. So after the sudden breakup, he leaves Oklahoma abruptly, takes on an extended leave of absence from work, cuts off contact with friends and coworkers, and can't be found.
Is he alive?
He just disappears.
Okay.
So it was after his disappearance that Betty reported that she was really fearful for her life and sought legal protection. And so police issue essentially a restraining order against him. And when they speak to the family and the coworkers and friends, they're like, we have no idea where he is. It's like he's gone into hiding.
Wait, which guy is this? The guy that has his own apartment?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, trying to keep them all straight.
So now we get into,
The next relationship,
yes,
which is the guy that died.
Kevin. No,
Oh.
this is Kevin.
We're
Harrow.
still going. Okay.
Yes. Shortly after Smith disappears from Oklahoma, she became involved in a brief affair with Kevin Harrow, a local man known around town. He's super well-liked socially. He was married and described by neighbors as the man about town, just familiar with everybody, was comfortable moving in the different circles around the area.
Maybe a little too familiar.
And he was drawn to Betty's intensity and her personality, and the two began a very discreet relationship that was almost never acknowledged.
Oh, okay.
Their affair did not last nor stay hidden for very long. When Kevin's wife, Nicole Harrow, became aware of the relationship, speculation is that Kevin confessed to it. Essentially, he felt guilty and was worried about being caught, so he confessed. But again, hearsay.
Yeah.
Neighbors later reported seeing Nicole arrive at Betty's home unannounced, where the two women were in a very heated debate, arguing outside the residence, so much so that one of the neighbors threatened to call the police. This ended the confrontation, and Nicole left. Witnesses can't say specifically what they were yelling about, just that it was looking like it was about to start getting violent. After that incident, the affair was over. They were completely done. Kevin cut off any contact with Betty.
Okay.
And Nicole was reportedly never seen around their property or anywhere near Betty again.
So she got her little moment of stay away from my man.
But again, from an investigative standpoint,
sure, there's still bad
something
feelings.
That stands out.
Yeah.
Right. So now we get into Bob Shue, her partner in 1991. So she begins a relationship with Robert Shue, a former Slaughterhouse coworker as well. This relationship results in the birth of a son the following year.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So compared to her other relationships, this one appeared outwardly and actually inwardly was the most stable relationship she's had at this point.
Okay.
It lasted several years, involved shared parenting, and did not draw the same level of attention from, any domestic disputes or anything from the neighbors warranting.
So they weren't constantly fighting, screaming, breaking up, getting back together, all that.
So Robert was a recovering alcoholic, very much involved with AA. And at this point in their marriage, he's been 2 years sober.
Oh, good for him.
So he was someone who appeared to be gaining control over himself.
Okay.
So this relationship ended after about 3 years, and this is the only one that's reported to have ended amicably.
Okay.
And the only one where she didn't have any mental breakdowns or psychotic episodes, right? Now we get to Richard Branson, introducing the most
Branson,
important
that's his name.
and final relationship here. So Branson's the father of 3 children and married when he becomes involved with Betty White. The relationship with Betty began while he was disentangling himself from his previous life, right?
So they were already on the outs?
Yes.
Pretty much? Okay.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
And so according to people close to him, it was Branson who pursued the relationship and brought Betty into his home in Tulsa in 1995, despite being aware of her reputation and that he's not fully
divorced. Okay.
So at first, this relationship seemed stable. Branson was earning really good money working at the local mines. His children accepted and adored her, eventually calling her mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So outwardly, everything was good. Privately, however, there were frequent arguments. Friend noticed that Branson was becoming increasingly isolated and very, very tense. So that tension escalates in 1998 when Branson makes it clear he does not intend to marry Betty. He's like, nope, we're just
living in sin. I grew up Baptist. I can say that.
Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Right, exactly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what he's thinking. He's like, I like it, but I don't need to put a ring on it. So shortly after, an incident involving his workplace results in him losing his job that he has had for 17 years.
Ooh, what kind of incident?
Like his coworkers were saying, he's just become tense, very agitated, a lot of weird stuff, right?
It's affecting his job.
Yes.
Okay.
And so upon this happening, it was an extremely public fallout, very humiliating. He goes home, breaks it off with Betty, and kicks her out of his house.
Oof.
Yeah.
Do we have an age range on these children?
I mean, they're maybe
Younger?
middle school down to elementary, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, they're not super, They're not high school.
Sure.
No, they're much younger. So a few months later, after he makes her leave and he ends it off with her, he wants to rekindle the relationship, but this time it's on his terms. And he's like, no, you're not moving back into the house, but I'm going to continue to see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in the final hours of their relationship, he invites Betty to the house with the intentions of reconciling.
Okay.
So he actually sends the kids away, and he's like, we're going to have like a date night. We're going to have just
some adult time.
Mm-hmm. So they go to a friend's house. What the investigation reports later is that he actually bought her underwear, like sexy lingerie. She comes to the house. They spend the entire evening together, had sex several times, and then go to sleep. Investigators estimate that this is around 11 p.m. The neighbors also report nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary.
They didn't hear any noise or anything like that? Okay.
No. And so didn't see anybody, didn't hear anything. And what we're about to get into with the scene, that raises some red flags that they heard absolutely nothing with what you're about to hear.
Sure.
The crime scene revealed like the most exceptionally brutal homicide ever.
Ooh, okay.
An autopsy later determines that Branson had been stabbed at least 37 times.
Wow.
With wounds to both the front and back of his torso, and many of the injuries penetrated vital organs. This is a very sustained, very violent, very intimate attack.
And that takes a lot of rage.
Right. So blood evidence throughout the house suggested a struggle that moved throughout multiple rooms. Okay. And it is believed by investigators that he attempted to flee, which is why the front door...
The back.
At the front door, there was
blood. Okay. And also he had stab wounds on the back side, so that would make sense.
As police continued to process the home, they encountered a series of very deeply disturbing post-mortem elements. Branson's body had been extensively mutilated.
What do you mean?
His head had been removed.
Oh.
And was later found in a pot with vegetables.
I'm sorry, what?
The pot was still warm, indicating the cooking had taken place earlier that morning.
Wait, so they cooked his head, or the pot was already cooked and then they put his head in?
They cooked his head. In the dining area, investigators found 3 place settings at the table, each prepared with, and this is really gross, cooked portions of Branson's flesh.
What?
Alongside, portions of his flesh that were cooked alongside vegetables and gravy, and each plate was marked with the name of one of his children.
Oh my God. I'm going to need a minute.
Yeah. I told you this one was bad. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So elsewhere in the house, they find...
Wait, names of his children on the plates? Or labeled by the plates?
Like labels by the plate.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
So hanging from a doorway in the house is his skin.
What?
He had been completely skinned. Yeah, with the exception...
Okay, I'm definitely going for one of her butcher exes.
But with the exception of a small patch above his heart. There was just one little square of skin that was left.
What? That's so weird.
And so there was a handwritten note at the scene that was placed on top of a photograph of Branson, and it contained explicit accusations that he was abusing one of the children.
Oh.
Yeah. So from an investigative standpoint, they have extreme violence.
Wait, do they know who wrote the note?
No.
Okay.
This is deeply personal, and the deliberate staging due to Branson's body being staged the way that it was, where his legs were crossed and his arm was placed over like a bottle of soda. Yeah.
Like they really wanted to make a point when they said that. Okay.
They had to take into account that Betty's apparent suicide attempt could also have been staged. Because during this entire time, she's unconscious and essentially in a coma.
Okay, so she's not dead.
No, she's alive.
Okay.
So detectives later said this was one of the most brutal and confronting crime scenes they had ever encountered.
Does she have any like wounds on her hands, or is she covered in blood, or?
Betty was alive but comatose. There's no eyewitnesses to the killings.
Okay.
He has apparently massive amounts of defensive wounds.
Sure.
She doesn't appear to have any defensive wounds on her,
Okay.
but there doesn't seem to be any of the crime scene on her.
Well, and that's kind of why I was asking, because I know a lot of times if you're going to stab someone 30-something times, you're going to end up with marks. Yes, you're going to be covered in blood, and you're going to have marks on your hands. Like, once your hands get slippery from the blood, the knife is going to start slipping.
And
it's just what happens.
They said that the way in which his skin was removed had to have taken expert level skills in butchering.
Right, which, I mean, obviously she had.
Exactly. But
so did a bunch of her exes,
Yep.
apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Several of them.
You're right. This one is definitely tripping me up.
Okay. So that's where we leave it here. So now you got to make your guess.
Okay, so Betty's just hanging on right now. She's
Yes.
in a coma. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you're not going to tell me if she lives or dies until part 2.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Okay. So first husband was a miner or a butcher?
Her first husband was Ted Dorset, who worked at the slaughterhouse with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one was
Henry Smith.
who was a miner.
Yes, he was the miner.
Then it was the boyfriend.
Yes. Kevin.
Then it was
Bob. Robert Shue.
and then it was
Richard Branson.
Branson. Okay.
Yes. But there wasn't just Kevin. There was also his wife that was involved.
Right. Do we know what his wife did for a living? Wait, what did Kevin do?
He was kind of like a businessman,
Okay.
from kind of like upper middle class,
Gotcha.
a little
Okay.
bit wealthier.
Okay.
Which is why they were kind of. I think that's why he was CYAing with Nicole.
How many of
honestly.
these guys does she have kids with?
She has a kid with
The
Ted
first one?
Dorset. She has 2 daughters with him.
Okay.
She has I believe she has another daughter with Henry Smith. And she had a son with one of them. I got to go back through the show notes.
That's okay.
And see. But
Did they find the murder weapon?
they haven't said
Okay.
yet at this
We're not
point.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just what they walk into. This is what they see. They had to get her medical attention.
Oh, okay.
And this is like the whole thing.
Sure.
So this is first thing in the morning. This is what they find.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh my gosh, there's so many choices. I'm gonna go with one of the butchers. Give me the butchers' names.
Okay. You got
Ex-butchers.
yes. So Bob
Dorset?
Shue.
Okay, Shue.
Shue was one of the slaughterhouse
That was more
coworkers.
recent.
And Dorset.
Shue's the one that had his own apartment?
That was Henry. Henry Smith was the one that had his own apartment. He's the one who went missing.
I'm going to go
remember?
with that guy.
Henry Smith?
Yeah.
That
Wait,
has
did
his
he
own-
go missing before this happened?
So he went missing
can't find him when they're looking
89,
for him.
and he went into hiding.
And this happened when?
This happened in March 1st of 2000.
All right, I'll go with Shue.
Okay. That's your
Going with
final
Shue.
guess?
Yep.
Shue in the house with the knife.
Yeah. And some pills,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
It's
crazy.
a brutal one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wait for part 2.
I have no clue. I'm hoping when you say real names, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I have heard this. But there's, that doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
Yeah. Well, see, so
But if it's international,
we
like,
had an attempted second episode already.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just
yeah.
went down in flames because I did not do my due diligence and provide enough information for you to have enough choices. So I learned my lesson.
This is true, but
I learned my
also
lesson.
you said one line that made me know who it was because I've seen that Forensic Files episode.
Well, good for you. Gold star by your name.
Yes, thank you.
All right, guys.
All right,
That's
we'll
it for
see you
part
on
1.
Thursday. Find out if I'm right or wrong, which I have a dreadful feeling that I'm wrong because there's just too many choices.
There's a lot of choices. I told you this one's packed.
That is crazy.
Okay, so guys, follow us on our socials. We got Instagram, TikTok, Dead Giveaway Podcast. You can email us any questions, concerns, critiques, which I will hand right over to Carley and tell
Oh
her
no,
she's
we've
wrong.
already established those. Go to you.
deadgiveawaypodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
And also, we are on Patreon. If you guys want to support us, you'll get the extra bennies that are on there. I've been told by my wife that that's the only kind of friends with benefits I'm allowed to have.
Get it while you can, folks.
And so if you join now for a limited time, I will send you feet pics of hobbits.
Oh my God. Please don't. He will. If you send twice as much, he won't send you feet pics of hobbits.
Yes. So
just kidding. But
no, do your worst. Oh my gosh. All right.
Wait.
What?
Never mind. I was going to make a joke about your feet, but.
Oh, I do have hobbit feet,
I know
but I
you
didn't
do.
say my hobbit feet.
Okay.
This just went downhill so fast.
You can edit all that out.
Nope, that's staying.
Oh, God.
People are going to know.
Anyways, we'll see you guys on Thursday. If
Bye.
you dare to come back.
Bye.